Hello, viewers. Welcome to today's lecture. Today's lecture, we want to look on the part of speech that we have in what? In English language. And the part of speech that we have is the verbs or a verb. So in English language, we have got so many types of what? Of part of speech that we have. We have both the proper nouns, the nouns, the pronouns, the verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, interjections, just to mention a few. But as I have said earlier on, we want to look on what? On verbs. So first thing first, I'm just going to define what a verb is. So by most writers, they think that a verb is a doing word or an action word. And that is quite correct. Actually, verb are words that expresses actions, events, or states of being. What is being referred to as the subject, they demarcates verb. So they demarcate an action word. Verbs, they are the heart of a sentence. And when we say a heart of a sentence, we are saying that a sentence has got a one verb. When we talk of a simple sentence. Why am I saying so? Remember that on our previous lecture on sentences, if you are following my lectures, we said that a simple sentence has got a subject and one verb. Why were we referring to one verb? We were saying that that's the independent clause, meaning that's the idea of the sentence, meaning that's the doing part, not the doer, which is the subject, but the doing part, the action movement. So it conveys what is happening or has happened before, despite the present, the past, or the simple future, or what it is a verb. So next, we want to look on the types of verbs. We have got so many types of verbs in English language, but I've just choose only 5 types of verbs. So I'll just mention a verb and I'll give you an example as stated on the what? On the slide show over there. So the first aspect is the action verbs. From the word action, that's the movement. I'm just giving an instruction to a boy. I will just say, John, run. John, jump. Read. It becomes the action part. So that's the action verbs. We have got the linking verbs. You're going to be seen. Be becomes the linking verb. Seem. Seems to be. Seem becomes the linking verb. We are linking ideas. We are connecting ideas. We have got what we call helping verbs. Helping verbs, they can be called auxiliary verbs. For example, we would, shall, used, for example, in the future tense. I shall be going to town today in the afternoon, referring what is going to happen. So these are helping verbs, or we can say is, where, was. Those are auxiliary verbs referring to helping verbs. The boy was walking slowly. What is our verb? Was is an auxiliary verb, then walking, the main verb. Then we've got what we call the transitive verbs. When we talk of the transitive verbs, we are simply referring to the thing in terms of the subject. Write, paint, buy, an instruction that becomes transitive. Then we talk of the intransitive, that's the being opposite of the transitive on what I have explained. Sleep, laugh, cry. I think you are what? You are following. Then we have got what we call the verb tenses. I'm not going to explain those tenses. Why? Because it's not part of our lecture. I'm just focusing on the what? On the verb part aspect. So the present tense, I walk. That's the present tense. Past tense, I walked. The future tense, I walk. I think you're what? You're following. Then the present perfect tense, I have walked. I have put an auxiliary verb have. It's a helping verb. The past perfect, I had walked. Had being the what? The auxiliary verb. I will have. That's the future perfect tense. I will have walked. It becomes the future perfect tense. What is to happen, but in perfect what? Tense. In the past, walked. So the auxiliary being will or helping verb. So I'll look on the what? On the verb forms. Best form, work. Past form, worked. Past participle, worked. Oral, had worked. I think this is quite easy because most of you have done it what? And form ones. So then lastly, before I conclude in a nutshell, I just want to look on the two key aspects of verbs, which are the regular and the irregular verbs. When we talk of regular, which is quite simple for you to be able to grasp the concept of what I'm trying to say, the felicitations of the day. When we talk of the regular verbs, we are saying that they follow a particular pattern. These are verbs which follow a sequence. Why am I saying so? Meaning that they have got what we call a suffix ed or d. For example, I have the word walk. I will just add ed in the past tense. Then in the past participle, I will just add had, as I have said in the previous on verb tenses. He had walked, but I've add ed. So I think you're following. Then when talk of the irregular verbs, it becomes um in contradiction with the regular verbs. Why? Because these types of verbs, they don't follow a particular pattern. That is, for example, the present tense of the verb go. In the past tense, we say went. And then in the past participle, we say had gone. So I think you have following what I was saying. So thank you so much for just delving into today's lecture. I will see you next time when we will be looking on the nouns. I think you were following. Thank you so much. If you have got any questions, just to subscribe and like in the comment section. Ask for more questions. Till then, Talita continue.